that are over the salary cap will be grandfathered in some way, shape, or form.
Until the end of the contracts that they already have on the books.
That is correct, yes.
Years.
That is, yeah, I mean, they're going to have to deal with Shohei Ohtani some way. So they're going to have to figure that out, right? Because they don't start paying him until what, 2030 or something, whatever nutty thing that is. So that's going to have to be worked out. But I suspect they're not the only team over the floated salary cap. So you would think that there would be some type of grandfathered clause or some type of step down clause or something. They're not going to void the contracts. No player, no union would ever agree that, okay, well, now the salary cap, we're going to void this contract for Juan Soto. That's just not going to happen.
Ohtani's still going to get paid.
Yeah, Ohtani's still going to get paid. The Dodgers are still going to pay him. They'll just figure out a way to sort of make it fair for the other teams and everything else.
All right. Well, how will if they do that, and they do agree to, well, I don't think they'll agree to a salary cap. How can they get around the collusion of it? The owners are saying we're just not going to pay it.
So there's no collusion because they're going to get it signed off on by the players' union. The reason why there was collusion last time is that the owners got together and said, we are not going to bid on any free agents, and they went out and didn't tell anybody. And then nobody got bid on, right? The Andre Dawsons of the world and everybody else, nobody bid on them. The Kurt Gibsons of the world, I believe, right? There was a couple of others. And so the players' union said, clearly there was a gentleman's agreement to circumvent the union. And so that was the collusion. The collusion was that they did it in secret and did it against the union. Right, yeah.
As long as they do it in public and tell them this is what we're going to do.
Well, one, if they have a working agreement with the union and the union agrees to a salary cap, right, and they have a labor agreement between the owners and the players, then they agree to whatever they agree to. An individual owner can say, I don't want to spend money on Juan Soto. I can't afford him. I don't want him. We don't need him. We're not going to bid on him. But the Cardinals can't call up the Mets and the Dodgers and the Cubs and say, hey, together, let's let nobody bid on Juan Soto, right? So you can't collude with other owners to the detriment of the players. So that was the quote-unquote collusion.
All right, Dan. Well, thanks. Hey, like the show very, very much. I don't stay up late enough to watch. Is the late night show online? Can you listen to it during the day?
Yes, it is. I think you can go to KTRS.com. You can also go where all fine podcasts are sold, though it's free of charge. And I think it starts at 9 on KTRS, 9 p.m.
Okay, thanks for that.
You got it. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, 9:28 here. Big 550 KTRS. Stay right there. I want to have plenty of time for my Bruce Fleming story, who used to wear a mask. It was a catcher's mask when he was an umpire. By the way, one more comment on the masks. Flippant remark, stick to commentary, not comedy. Here's another one. Very rudimentary mask comparison. The only thing similar about the situations is the word mask. Okay, fair enough. Let's talk about the windows. Let's talk about Larry Thornton. Let's talk about Joe Thornton, because they run the window store. 38 years going strong. It's a family-run business. Let's talk about the quality of the windows. Great quality windows, right? They have access to the manufacturers who make great windows. And so they're energy efficient. You can get them with any type of divided glass. You can get the wood, the vinyl, you name it, they get it. Windows and doors. Also, all makes and models, all styles, designs, yes, all available at the window store. You have a full plethora of options. Price, better than everybody in town. Customer service, I'd put old Larry up against anybody because, first of all, the man couldn't be any nicer. He'll make sure the job is done right. You know, there are legendary stories that, he'll go to the store himself and get new trim and take care of it. And, you need some trim on the other window. Also, legendary stories like, I need a new door. No, you don't. You just need this one fixed. He'll take 5 minutes. He'll fix it, and he'll say, call me when you need a new door. That's the guy you want to buy windows from, right? Hey, We need windows. Come on out. No, you don't. You just need to tighten this screw over here. Now you're fine. Oh, hey, great. Thanks. You got it. Call me later. That's the type of person you want to do business with, and that's the window store. 38 years going strong here in St. Louis. There's no hard sell, no standing in your living room demanding, dropping the price by $50 every 5 minutes. No. At the window store, what you get is a great St. Louis company with a great St. Louis product at a great price. 314-739-0002, wswindow.net. Captain Paul Kopsky in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, McGraw. There's road work on 44 West at Shrewsbury with the 2 right lanes closed until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And 70 West is reduced to 1 lane between Pierce and Hochul Parkway in Wentzville until 1 o'clock this afternoon for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, real quick of the markets this morning. The Dow Jones is down 670 points in early morning trading. There's a couple of numbers that the markets don't like. One was Jack Dorsey announcing that he was going to get rid of 40% of Block because of AI. Also, let's see here. There was another one here. The price index. Where was that? I just looked at that, and now I can't find it. Inflation numbers came in. The January producer price index rose 0.5% month to month. What does that mean? That means wholesale inflation grew at a faster pace than economists expected. Core PPI, which excludes volatile food and energies, jumped 0.8% for the month, also exceeding the forecast of 0.3%. So inflation numbers hotter than they expected, making and putting downward pressure on the Dow. Stay right there. Randy Carricker is going to come. We're going to talk a little sports in a minute. 9:32, Big 550. KTRS. Miller.
Sunday mornings just got supersized. That's right. Sports Sunday on the Big 550 is now twice as long from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. I'm Brendan Weesey, and I'll be joined by your KTRS Sports All-Stars, Randy Carricker, Frank Cusimano, Bob Ramsey, our Mizzou insider, Eli Hoff. We'll get updates from the PGA Tour and St. Louis City SC. We'll fit it all in 2 hours. We'll see you Sunday morning at 10 on the Big 550.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation for foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing. Choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, solid as rock.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've only sold 2 houses, but I know how stressful it can be. I also know the team at Lauren Risley Realty makes the entire process as easy as possible. I watched Lauren work with friends and my parents, and I can say she is top notch. She doesn't just know the market, she knows what to look for in a home, and that includes red flags. And through all of it, she is calm, cool, and kind. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684, or go to laurenrisleyrealty.com.
If you're concerned about the health of your trees, you need to talk to the Davey Tree Expert Company. These people love trees. They have a passion for keeping keeping trees healthy. Their certified arborists provide personalized care for your trees. They're trained in the latest technologies for safe and accurate pruning and provide reliable preventative measures for diseases and invasive insects.
Locations in South County, Webster Groves, and coming soon to St. Charles. Davy Tree serves the entire St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river. Visit Davy, spelled DAVEY.com.
Royal Banks of Missouri's local mortgage lenders are here to help you unlock the door to your new home. Whether you're searching for your first house or more space for the family, they offer competitive rates and personalized support to guide you on your home purchase journey. Call 314-212-1500 to discover how the Royal Banks of Missouri mortgage team can provide the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, Randy Carricker from the Matrix Midwest. Before we get going, somebody on the text line wants to know when the spring training game is going to show up on the Matrix Midwest.
All right, our next one is May 7th. Or March 7th, not May 7th. That'll be pretty late. March 7th, which is next weekend, we will have one. And I believe there are 7 Matrix Midwest games left.
All right, cool. Awesome. All right. So your friend and mine, Bruce Fremming, legendary Major League Baseball umpire, passed away last night.
Yeah, and I texted you because Jack Buck and Bruce Fremming were very good friends. So when I would be around the ballpark and Jack would come into our little studio at the old Busch Stadium, Bruce Fremming, when he was coming in, would come in to say hi to Jack. And one night he came in and he goes, "Who's this McGraw Millhaven guy?" And Jack was telling him who he is, and I said, "Yeah, he's a good guy." And were you at the Missouri Barn Grill? Where were you? We
were at Kelly. We were at Kelly's Corner.
Okay, so you pick it up from there.
So I didn't know that part of the story. So it was the 2000 playoffs. The Mets were playing the Cardinals, and I believe it was Game 1. And Rick Ankiel was playing. That was when Rick Ankiel sort of lost his location. Mets win the game. After the game, 50,000 people go down. They leave the stadium. We head down to Kelly's Corner. Well, the place is packed. And we're maybe enjoying a local beverage on the street corner, minding our own business, talking about the game, having a grand old time. And Bruce Fremming and the umpiring crew is sort of walking down the street. So we see, right, we were at the game. We saw them, call the whole game. And so we see him walking down. So we're standing on the street corner. He walks behind me. And I don't know what got into me, maybe the local beverage or two. And I turned, and out of the side of my mouth, I'm like, "Nice game, Blue. You missed a couple." And he stops, and he wasn't a very tall man, and I'm like 6'3" or so. And he reaches up with his bony finger. "You blankety blank blank, I don't give a blankety blank blah, blah, blah." I mean, he dresses me down like no one's business for 30 seconds. I mean, he keeps going, and like I'm Billy Martin. So with that, he walks in, and "Leave me alone," and he walks into the bar. So the people I'm standing around are like have these giant saucer eyes. And I'm laughing, and they're like, "He wasn't joking. He was really going to beat you up." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, do you think he was serious?" So I walk inside about, 2, 3, 4 minutes later, and the place is packed. And I walk up to the bar, and he's there having a drink by himself. And I'm like, "Excuse me, sir. I am sorry. I didn't mean anything. But I was just I apologize. Please forgive me. I didn't mean anything of it. I'm a big fan of yours. I apologize." So he turns to me and he says, I thought I told you outside. I don't give a blankety blank blank. And he starts screaming at the top of his lungs, so loud and so long, and this packed Kelly's Corner bar, the jukebox goes, right? One of those things. Everybody stops. Everybody looks at me. The bartender's like pouring the beer into the glass, and the beer's like overflowing the glass as he's yelling at me, right? And I'm like, and I'm just getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And as I told you, get the blankety blank. I don't leave me the blank alone. So I'm like, oh, so I go outside and I'm like, 3 feet tall. Okay, so fast forward the next day. Now it's game 2. And so I'm doing the afternoon show with Carol Daniel, and we're right outside of the Stan Musial Plaza there at the old Bush Stadium. And, game 2, it's all the fun and all the electricity of a game 2 playoff and everything else. And so it was whatever day it was, Tuesday, and we were supposed to talk to Jack Buck on that day. So starting the show, I was like, oh, man, listen to what happened to me last night. And I told that story I just told. So an hour and a half later goes by. It's time for Jack to call in, and he was calling in from inside of the stadium. And Fred Bottomer says in our ear, "Hey, Jack has a story for you, so let him take control of the interview." Okay, fine. So, hey, Jack, game 2, how are you doing tonight? What are you thinking? What are you hearing? McGraw, hold on a second. A friend of mine wants to say something to you. And he hands Bruce Fremming the phone, and Bruce Fremming says, I thought I told you last night, leave me the blankety blank blank, I know blankety blank 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 blank. And he goes off on me, 35, 40 seconds, hands Jack back the phone, and Jack says, I don't think he's joking. I wouldn't go to Kelly's Corner tonight. This guy's looking for you. This guy, oh my God.
And here's the thing: he had a little smirk the entire time. Oh, that was epic! And during the playoffs too. That makes it even better that it was during the playoffs.
So I didn't know he went into Jack and was like, "Hey, who's this Millhaven Joker guy?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny. So then Jack told me a story about Bruce Fremming, where years earlier he was in San Francisco at Candlestick Park, and Jack's walking into the ballpark. And he sees Bruce Fremming walking maybe 50 yards behind him. And as he's walking into the gate, he gives the attendant $100 and says, whatever you do, don't let Bruce Fremming in the stadium. And Jack then walks around the corner. So Bruce Fremming comes up and he shows him his pass. And the guy says, I'm sorry, sir, that just doesn't work here. And Fremming still says, what do you think? Get out of my way. And he, tried. And the kid, to his credit, earned his $100 and wouldn't let Bruce Fremming in the game. And Fremming was steam. I was coming out of this guy's ears. Jack turns the corner and he's like, oh, you son of a gun. How dare you? So,
oh man, that's so great. And Fremming, for those that didn't hear, he passed away. He actually died of a fall in his Mequon, Wisconsin home, and he had bleeding on the brain and passed away a couple of nights ago at the age of 86. But he was, because you don't know umpires, but yeah. He had a great sense of humor, and I'm sure that all of the yelling that he did at you was in fun.
Well, it's of course, these guys. It's a story, right? 20 years later, 25 years later, we're still telling the story. That's the great thing about it. Yeah. And it was almost like, dare I say, who's the insult the comedian? Who's the
Rodney Dangerfield?
Rickles? Don Rickles, right? It's like Don Rickles making fun of you, right? It's an honor for Don Rickles to make fun of you. Right. So it was an honor to be chastised by the greatest. But the interesting thing about Jack was he was best friends with all those umpires, right? I mean, that's what made him so great.
He made it a point to go into the umpires' room every series and talk to those guys, and if they ever, and he never was that critical of them that they had anything. He was pretty protective of the umpires, but he was best friends with everybody, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he made it a point, and he actually taught Joe and Mike Shannon. He said, "Hey, make sure you know the umpires and take care of those guys."
Yeah. No, it was. It was.
Actually,
go ahead.
You remember in '98 when Mark McGwire got thrown out of a game against the White Sox here, and it was the day before they were going to unveil the Jack Buck statue, I think. And Jack, in his speech, as they unveiled the statue, said, and obviously fans were furious at the umpires for throwing McGuire out of a game during the home run race. And Jack said during his speech, he said, when these umpires come out tonight, give them a standing ovation. And the umpires come out, and they get a standing ovation from the crowd at Busch Stadium. It was amazing.
Yeah.
He had a remarkable effect on our community.
Yeah, different era, but right, they don't make them anymore. He was one of a kind. So let's talk a little sports. How about the Blues and this Hughes coming into town tomorrow? That's kind of special.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? And obviously the Blues have their Canadian guys, and Broberg and the rest, Dvorsky, they honored them last night with a video at the game, and that was great. But, yeah, it's great to see. That is one of the cool things about the USA winning the gold medal, is these guys will come through town, and next time we see Matthew and Brady and Keller, we'll get the opportunity to honor them as gold medal winners for the United States. But Hughes is the hero. He's the guy. And so that'll be really fun tomorrow night. Yeah.
Let's talk a little Matthew Liberatore. What's going on there? Well, it looks like he's got shades of coming out of whatever he was in.
Looking good. Developed a cutter during the offseason. I thought he had a really good year last year, his first full year as a starter at the major league level. And as you know, McGraw, pitching isn't what it was. It used to be you'd grow up and you'd become a 200-inning, 220-inning guy. Now those pitchers strive to go 160 or 180 innings. Well, he's developed another pitch, and I don't know if he's ever going to be that front-of-the-rotation guy that starts game one of a playoff for you, but he's a really good major league pitcher. Now, 2 good outings. His first outing, 2 solid innings. Yesterday, he goes 3 solid innings, and he looks like he's on his way to starting opening day for the Cardinals.
Yeah, no, you like to see you root for him, and people label you one way or the other, and that moniker stinks, and that's really not right. And you should allow these guys to grow and change and develop and get older and smarter, and that's what they do. That's how the game's played.
We have such an impatient society now, with people like Gorman, who's going to turn 26, and Jordan Walker's going to turn 24, and Victor Scott II has played 1 year at the major league level. Not everybody's going to be like Albert Pujols and be great off the bat. There's a guy in Anaheim named Joe Adell who came up at 20 years old, just like Jordan Walker did, and got off to the exact same start that Jordan Walker did. Last year, Joe Adell had 37 homers, 98 RBIs, and a 900 OPS. Not everybody has it in baseball. It happened to them overnight. Joe Torre always used to tell me, when he was the Cardinal manager and I would do the post-game shows, he would pretty much every day say, you got to remember, this game is really hard. And it is. And these guys don't get it overnight.
Yeah, good stuff. Randy Carricker, who's your sponsor?
It's our friends at Dalco Home Remodeling, and they do such an incredible job on St. Louis homes, McGraw, whether it's with replacement windows and they want to make your home more energy efficient and they want to make it more attractive. But they also do a great job with new doors. A new front door can do make a lot of difference in terms of your energy bill. Plus, if you need new siding, and we're getting to the spring in St. Louis, somebody's going to need new siding, and many people are going to need new roofs. Well, when you get to that point, you need to get in touch with our friends at Dalco Home Remodeling, because they've been doing it for a half century in the St. Louis metro area. They do great work. You don't last a half century unless you do great work, and everything they do is top shelf. Give Dalco Home Remodeling a call at 314-298-7300 or find them on the web at dalcohomeremodeling.com.
From the Country Club Car Wash. Great story. Thanks for telling it. What a great segment. Love you guys together. Well, there you go. Thank you very much from the Country Club Car Wash text line. All right, let's talk Miller Furniture. MUELLER, MillerFurniture.com. What do you need to know? 4 area locations. I'm headed over to Illinois this afternoon to go check out the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. And they got a home show over there with Lisi Lumber. I'll be in the Miller Furniture neighborhood. That's always a little dangerous when you swing by the Stickley section of Miller Furniture. Look, they got half-price sales going on right now. They got, listen to this, between now and March 17th, That's St. Patrick's Day. You can take an extra $2,000 off in-stock purchases. Look, they always got deals. No matter what they're looking at, you always get a deal at Miller Furniture. You always walk in. The prices are very competitive. The furniture is not. The furniture is top-notch. Furniture you can't get anywhere else because it's American-made. It's that Amish quality. It's that American quality. It's that American craftsmanship. These furniture, these couches and chairs, they will last. You can jump on them. You can move them. You can turn them upside down. The dogs can play on them. The kids can eat on them. They're tough. They're durable, and they're stylish. They got every style known to man, all the mattresses you need, same as cash financing, up to 60 months. Miller Furniture has been selling American-made furniture in the region coming up on 100 years. 4 locations, Lake St. Louis out at the Meadows, Ellisville on Manchester Road, and in Illinois, Belleville, and, of course, Fairview Heights. That's the largest mattress selection, as well as that Stickley collection. So I might wander over to Miller Furniture today, and it is payday. So it is justified. I did quit drinking caffeine. So maybe the caffeine, the Diet Coke dividend, I can pour into some Stickley furniture. Mueller, Miller Furniture, or MillerFurniture.com.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
Hi, I'm Joseph Shear, born and raised right here in St. Louis. Over the last 15 years, I've been working as a financial advisor with some of the largest companies on Wall Street. Now I'm back in my hometown, partnering with W. Swartz & Company and helping clients approaching or in retirement, growing families, and business owners reach their financial goals with minimum levels of risk. I would love the opportunity to partner with you on your investment strategy and financial plan, or maybe just provide a free, no-obligation second opinion. You can call me, Joseph Shear, directly at 314-518-4725. That's 314-518-4725, or find me on my website at wswartz.com. That's WSWARTZ.com. I'm a proud long-term supporter and active volunteer of the Backstopper. At W. Swartz & Company, we provide unbiased, highly customized guidance and service fiduciaries. We do not sell commission-based products. Call me, Joseph Shear, at 314-518-4725.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Yes, you are correct. You did. Oh, well, hold on. Do you have the Bricker Brothers? What about the Bricker Brothers? All right, good. Yes, you did hear this song last Friday night at Joe's. After the fish fry, we went over to Joe's, And the little one loves to play shuffleboard. So we got our sodas, and she got her Shirley Temple, and we went over to the shuffleboard table, and she put her drink on the drink shelf, and we were playing shuffleboard. And as a father, I was never so proud as she knew where the drink shelf was. As a 5-year-old, she put the drink on the drink shelf, and she picked up shuffleboard like she'd been doing it like a pro. I'm like, that's the Millhaven. There's the Millhaven in you. She feels comfortable around a dive bar in Cottleville. That's what I'm talking about. Never been so proud as a papa. All right, let me tell you about Kevin Lloyd and Legacy Wealth Advisors, because you're going to want to retire and enjoy the kids, the grandkids. You're going to want to enjoy this hard work you've been having and doing. You put the money away every week, every month, every paycheck. You put that money away. You did what you were supposed to do. You saved your money, and now it's time to take it out because you have to retire. Well, you go from putting it in to taking it out. And when you take it out, when you put it in, you get the tax breaks. When you take it out, that's when the tax man comes. What if there were a way for you to avoid or reduce your taxes when you take the money out? Is that something you might be interested in? Well, if you are, then you probably want to call Kevin Lloyd at Legacy Wealth Advisors, because they will set up a true financial plan so that when you take the money out, you're not being charged the taxes you would be if you did it another way. What are you talking about? When you're in retirement, you can take your taxes out all sorts of different ways, and thus causing taxes on different accounts, including your Social Security account. You want to get your Social Security check as big as possible, and you want to get your taxes as low as possible, and you don't want to take any risk in your investments, but you still want a return, right? That's sort of the way it works. Well, that's why you call Kevin Lloyd. They are specialists when it comes to retirement. They do not work with me, though they do my taxes, because I'm not close to retirement, because I got the 5-year-old. Legacy Wealth Advisors, do yourself a favor. If you're close to retirement and or retired, never too late to start saving money on your taxes and or investments and everything else. 314-641-1010. You don't know until you know. 314-641-1010, or the website whenretirementhappens.com. A little two-play. It's a 2 for Tuesday. I'll leave you with this. That kid sounds like a blast. Can I hang out with her? That sounds a little creepy. Got to be honest with you. She is a blast, right? They never told you they were that adorable. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Frank comes your way next. We got who do we got coming up here?
Jackie Smith.
Jackie, the legendary, nicest man you'll ever meet, Jackie Smith, coming up with Frank and Jill. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. So long, everybody.